can't watch this. Turn the cameras off. Turn the cameras off.
Okay, babe. So we gotta talk about this.
Okay.
So what did we just hear?
So, about a week ago, I was scared by a clown. I was going to the studio to record some scenes for Between Women, and it was about maybe 6:37 in the morning, and I got a text that said, hey, everyone needs to make sure they park in the back. I never park in the back of the studio, I always park in the front. So I'm parking in the back, and I'm driving to the back, and I'm like, yo, I need to text the director. But every time I text or call him, he never answers the phone. So I said, you know what, let me not do that. So I park, and it's extremely dark outside. I'm like, you know what, I'm just about to be in and out. I have my bag in my hand, I have everything in my hand. And so I actually have to punch in numbers to call to get buzzed in. So it's ringing and ringing and ringing, and no one's picking up. And I hear this clink in the back, like this. So I turn around, and I just assume it's the dumpster. So I'm like, okay, maybe something fell in the dumpster. Everything's fine. Next thing I know, I hear this sound that sounds like it's dragging something metal across concrete pavement. And I start freaking out. I turn around, and I see a clown. Now, I don't know if y'all watch the news like that, but lately there have been clowns trying to terrorize children. I myself look like a child, so I was scared that I was done. So how the clown was coming for me was, it was coming directly at me and my car. It was right next to my car, but I was next to the door of the studio. If I ran to my left, there was nowhere to go. There was no exit. The only way I could exit this particular part of the parking lot was where the clown was actually coming from. And it was just dragging its shovel. And it just had blood on it. And I am screaming my head off, knocking on the door of the studio, knocking. And the clown gets so close to me, I then take my bag and proceed to hit the clown. Next thing I know, people are jumping out of the van, people are coming from out of the studio, it's cameras in my face, and the clown reveals itself.
Okay, so since this incident that happened about a week ago, have you changed your activity? Have you been back to the studio? Where are we at today with things?
I am now traumatized. I can't sleep at night. I have nightmares, I have dreams. I'm now protected. I'm ready.
What is that?
If a clown comes, I don't play.
What is that?
It's a taser to be ready for some clowns.
Do you know how to work that thing?
It works. It works. I've gone back to the studio recently, and I'd like to report that there are no more clowns in the studio. Also, I would like to say that I alerted the authorities, and Target is no longer selling clown costumes.
So where can your Love and Labels TV followers go and find this clown episode?
Luckily for you all, the whole thing was caught on camera, and you can find it at BetweenWomenTV.com and also Between Women TV on YouTube.
So were you the only one that got this clown thrown at you?
No, they
got
got us
several others.
There were several others. They got us all. Everyone that showed up to the studio that day got met with the clown.
One last thing before we let you go, Ms. Fonson Brown, any advice since Halloween is next week?
Watch out for the clowns. Make sure you have salt on hand for these clowns. Make sure you are packing. Make sure you also have your taser. If you have a cross as well, that may or may not work. Just make sure you are fully prepared to fight these clowns. I wish you good luck in your clown sightings.